Good morning, fifth grade. Let's give this a try. Hopefully this will work on our first time. Today is Thursday. We are working on chapter 11, lesson 6 today, and today is all about understanding the volume of unit cubes. So before we even get started, one important thing to note is that there's different ways to measure the volume of unit cubes. Yesterday we did learn that all unit cubes are 1 by 1 by 1. But they can be measured in different metric units. So it can be measured in inches, as you see here, or it can be measured in feet, or it can be measured in centimeters. The important thing to remember is that today you're going to have to differentiate. You're going to have to tell me, is centimeters bigger or smaller than inches, which we all know that centimeters are much smaller than inches, or is inches bigger or smaller than feet? And I know that inches is much smaller than feet. Okay, so volume is equal to the amount of space a solid figure occupies and is measured in cubic units. Find the volume of two rectangular prisms by counting unit cubes. So we're just going to actually do one here, okay? So we have a rectangular prism here, okay? And we have a set of unit cubes within that rectangular prism, okay? So if I come up here and I mark 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I know that this figure is going to be 10 unit cubes. Okay, because there are 10 of them, and it shows that here as an example. All right, moving a little bit further into this, okay? A lot of times today, you are going to be given the base, okay? You're going to be given the base of a unit of a rectangular prism or of a figure, okay? And so what the important thing to remember is yesterday we worked on length times width times height. I think I called it length times depth times height, so I apologize, but it's actually going to be length times width times height, okay? So what they do here is they first take the first length, which is 1, 2, 3, times the next width, which is 1, 2, 3, okay? So they take 3 times 3, and you all know that 3 times 3 equals 9, okay? So we have our length times width, 3 times 3. Now I'm trying to figure out what my height is. My height is the last one that I'm trying to solve. So I'm going to come back over to my original figure. I go, this is my height, and I'm going to count 1, 2, I'm going to put dots on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know that it's going to be a 5 there. So we have 9 times 5, which gives us 45 as our cubic units. And it's important to note, what are we working with? Are we working with centimeters, inches, or feet? And in this case, we are working with centimeters, okay? All right, moving on to our next slide, okay? So here it has it already set up for us, all right? You see we have length times width times height. So we have 5 times 4 times 2. So I know in my head, 5 times 4 equals 20 times 2, I just have to double it. That gives me 40. So the next thing that they do is they want us, so it's 40, 40, 40 for centimeters, inches, and feet. It's all the same. But now they want us to compare feet and inches. So remember, our alligator mouth has to eat the one that is larger. So is 40 cubic feet bigger or smaller than 40 cubic inches? If you answered the alligator mouth eating the feet, you are correct. All right, moving on to a little bit of a trickier question, okay? So, Pia built a rectangular prism with cubes. The base of her prism has 12 centimeter cubes. So, what that means, fifth grade, is that they already did the length times the width because that is always the base, and that equals 12. So now we're just trying to find the height. So what is this height here? The prism was built out of 120 centimeter cubes. What is the height of her prism? So an easy way to figure this out, we know what the total is. So in order to find our last height that we're looking for, all we have to do is divide this, okay? And the answer that we get is 10 for our height. And let's reveal the answer, see if it's correct, and that is correct, okay? All right, so this one is a little bit tricky as well. It says a packing company makes boxes with edges measuring 3 feet, okay? So that means it's going to be 3 by 3 by 3 because that's how the boxes are, okay? Now it says, what is the volume of the boxes? So if we do 3 times 3, that gives us 9. 9 times 3 gives us 27, okay? So let's see if that is the correct answer there. 27 is correct, okay? Now it says if 10 of those boxes were put together in a larger rectangular shipping container and completely filled with no edges or gaps or overlaps, what is the volume of the new container? So what I did here, 5th grade, is I took 27 and I multiplied it by 10 and I got 270. Let's see if that answer is correct. And it is, okay? So all I did was I had to take this answer here and I had to multiply it by the number that they gave me here. All right, we're almost there. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so a lot of times today, 5th grade, you're going to have to be comparing, okay? So this first one, you have to notice that this is in centimeters and this is in inches, okay? So even before I get started, I know that my alligator mouth is going to be eating the inches side. Okay, so let's figure both of these out. So for this first one that we're working with, we're doing length times width times height. So that gives us 4 times 4, which gives us 16, times 2 gives us 36. So 36 is our first one here. And then the next one, sorry, my nose is a little, oh, I'm sorry, that's actually incorrect. It's not 36, silly me. I'm even making mistakes when we're not at school, 5th grade. It's actually 32. My fault there. And then this next one, we're doing 4 times 2 times 4. You guys, it's the same exact thing here. So it's just going to be 32, but it's going to be inches on that side. Okay, so you're going to have to compare a lot there. All right, so this last one, it says, Pia built a rectangular prism with cubes. The base of her prism has 12. So the base, she already did length times width, and she got 12. Okay, now it says, if the prism was built with 72 centimeter cubes, what is the height? Okay, so last time what I did is I took my answer that I got, which is 72. I divided it by my number I already had to find my height. Okay, so if I divide 72 by 12, I'm going to get the number 6. Okay, so the height is 6. That's all I have for you guys today. It's pretty simple. Just take your time, take some notes on the video, and do your best. And I will see you all next week.